Hi guys, my name is Erica. It's nice to finally meet all of you. I'm sure most of you have pronounced my name Irika or Erica at some point during this quarter. But I did want to talk to you guys today about my essay and about my point of view. I do not think that the American Revolution was truly revolutionary. And what I mean by that is that, yes, it was politically revolutionary, absolutely. We came away from a monarchy. We began a republic. We had a written document, the Articles of Confederation, that summed up what we didn't really want as a country. We eventually moved towards the Constitution. Those were all politically revolutionary for us. But when I think of, was the American Revolution truly revolutionary, I think there's more than just a political aspect to it. I think that there's a social aspect to it. And no, it was not revolutionary for a majority of these people who fought for the American Revolution. We talk about the fact that elite class or elite upper class males and middle class white males both benefited largely from the American Revolution. But then you have classes like African Americans who did not benefit from the American Revolution. We do see some of them who helped fight the war. Those men are freed. We do see manumission becoming legal, and some slave owners are setting free their slaves, but that does eventually stop. And then we see, at the time of the American Revolution, there were about 300,000, 400,000 slaves, but because of the protection through the Constitution and whatnot, we'd see slavery just skyrocket to 400 million by the time of the American Civil War. We don't see them really benefiting at all from the American Revolution, even though the ideals were supposed to be equality for all, freedom for all, all of those great things. Another group that we don't see benefiting from the American Revolution are Native Americans. We decimate them. We take their land. We strip them of all of their rights. We kind of push them away. We treat them like traitors, that they committed treason by helping the British fight against us during the American Revolution. And they did so because of trading rights, because of the Proclamation Line of 1763. For different reasons, for various reasons, they helped the British. And we treated them like traitors and treason and whatnot. And so we really decimated them, and they didn't benefit at all from the American Revolution. Finally, another group is women. We don't see women benefiting at all during the American Revolution. They were camp followers. They really were the backbone, taking care of men, taking care of the homes, making sure things still kept moving and whatnot during the American Revolution. And we don't see any kind of benefits. We have letters from Abigail Adams to John Adams asking for him to remember the ladies. I know probably a lot of you are familiar with that. She kind of pleads with him to remember the ladies, to not put all of the power in the hands of their husbands. She mentions that if this doesn't happen, that women will eventually push back and want those rights and eventually fight for those rights regardless. And we do eventually see that happen in about 150 years, the 19th Amendment, women's suffrage movement, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, and so forth. What we don't see for women is any other kind of equality. I mean, I think in New Jersey, women got the right to vote for just a little while due to a loophole, which was eventually closed as well. So no, the American Revolution was not truly revolutionary to me because it didn't encompass everything. Politically, yes. Socially, no. Some of the sources that I used for my essay include that of the letter from Abigail Adams to John Adams on the 31st of March, 1776, and then his response to her on the 14th of April, 1776, was almost laughable. He kind of, wrote off her concerns, told her not to worry, and it almost like he didn't care. But then he writes a letter to to James Sullivan on the 26th of May, 1776, which is another letter that I use as one of my primary sources for this essay. At the end of that letter, he begs for James Sullivan to not include rights for women's voting or anything like that, because in his reasoning was that if we allow this group, then this group is going to want those same rights. And so we kind of see his view of that. Another book that I used was The Revolution and Nation Building by Philip Jenkins, and this book kind of talks about the building of the American Constitution, what it went to for the voting, and the different checks and balances, and who was allowed to partake in this and whatnot. So it kind of gives you an idea of the political revolutionary, or how it was politically revolutionary, and then, at the same time, not socially. Another one that I used was Judith Sargent Stevens Murray. She wrote literature back during the American Revolution, and after. She wrote a piece called On the Equality of the Sexes, and it did talk about the inequality, that there's no difference between men and women, that the only difference is the limitations that men set for women, which we now call strict gender roles. And so she really touched on that, and this is revolutionary because she's speaking out during a time when it's not really something that women do. And a couple other pieces that I used were off of the ushistory.org website. One was Revolutionary Limits, Native Americans. The other was Revolutionary Changes and Limitations for Slavery. Both kind of talk about the negative outcomes for Native Americans, the negative outcomes for African American slaves, what really took place after the American Revolution for them. So again, I do not believe that the American Revolution was truly revolutionary, because in my eyes, to be truly revolutionary, you not only need it to be politically revolutionary, but socially as well. Because if you overhaul a whole government and you create this whole new system, but there's not a lot of people benefiting from it, then it's not really revolutionary. You're just doing that. You're just having the same amount of people who were benefiting before under a new government. It's really nothing special, because those people were already semi-benefiting before Britain started taxing and all those certain things. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my video. Any feedback, anything you guys think I could change, any other websites you guys could point out to me, or if you think maybe some of my facts are a little weary or whatnot, I would love to hear from you guys. So thanks for listening to my video. Nice to meet you guys. Bye.